Here's something that's going to sound wrong at first. The people who get what they want fastest are usually not the ones trying the hardest. They're the ones who feel safe. Not lucky. Not gifted. Safe. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why your nervous system can undo months of hustle in seconds, and what to do instead so that effort actually works the way it's supposed to. Welcome to Neurovexis Studio. Let's break down why. Let's start with what happens inside your skull the moment you feel threatened. Your brain has a region called the prefrontal cortex. It's responsible for planning, creativity, decision-making, basically everything you need to actually accomplish a goal. Neuroscientist Amy Arnsten at Yale spent years studying what happens to this region under stress, and her research found something brutal. Even mild, uncontrollable stress can rapidly impair prefrontal cortex function, shifting control to older, more reflexive brain circuits. In plain terms, when you feel unsafe, your brain literally downgrades itself. It trades your smartest tools for your most primitive ones. So if you're trying hard from a place of fear, you're not operating with your full brain. You're operating with the emergency system. And that system was never built for nuanced, long-term goals. It was built to help you survive the next 5 seconds. Which brings us to the second problem. Trying hard usually comes from a feeling of lack. Lack of time, lack of safety, lack of enough. And that feeling keeps your body in a state psychologists call sympathetic activation, the fight or flight response. Here's the twist most people miss. There's a well-documented principle in psychology called the Yerkes-Dodson law, which shows that performance improves with arousal only up to a point. Past that point, more stress makes performance worse, not better. So the harder you push from a threatened state, the more you're actually working against your own biology. You're flooring the gas pedal while the parking brake is still on. Now here's where it gets interesting. What actually happens when you feel safe instead? In the early 2000s, psychologist Barbara Fredrickson proposed something called the broaden-and-build theory. Her research found that positive emotional states, the kind that come from feeling secure rather than threatened, literally broaden your attention and cognition. You notice more options. You connect more ideas. You see opportunities that a threatened brain filters out completely. Safety doesn't just feel better. It expands the actual hardware you're thinking with. Which means two people staring at the exact same problem can have wildly different outcomes, not because one is smarter, but because one brain is open and the other is locked down. But it goes deeper than attention. It changes your body too. In 1979, Ellen Langer ran a study now known as the counterclockwise experiment. She placed elderly men in an environment designed to make them feel, physiologically and psychologically, like they were young again, safe, capable, unhurried. Within a week, their vision, grip strength, memory, and even posture measurably improved. Nothing about their bodies had changed. Only their sense of safety and possibility had. That's not a metaphor. That's measured biology responding to a felt sense of security. So here's the moment where this all connects back to what I promised you. Trying hard doesn't fail because effort is bad. It fails because effort filtered through a threatened nervous system is inefficient, narrow, and biologically limited. Feeling safe isn't the opposite of effort. It's what makes effort actually usable. Now for the part that changes how you'll see literally every hustle harder piece of advice you've ever heard. Psychologists have long studied something called the self-fulfilling prophecy, most famously in the Pygmalion effect, where people who are expected to succeed subtly change their behavior in ways that make success more likely. Safety works the same way, quietly, from the inside. When you feel safe, your posture changes, your voice changes, your decision-making changes, your risk tolerance changes. Other people respond to that shift without even knowing why. It's not magic. It's a chain reaction, and it moves faster than forced effort ever could, because it's changing the input, not just pushing harder on the output. Wait, before you take this the wrong way, this isn't an argument against working hard. Effort still matters enormously. Here's the truth. The twist isn't stop trying. The twist is that trying hard was never the mechanism. It was always just the fuel. Safety is the engine. Without it, you can pour in unlimited fuel and the car still won't move efficiently, because the system running it is stuck in survival mode instead of strategy mode. Once you understand that, hard work doesn't pay off, stops being a mystery. It was never about the amount of effort. It was about which nervous system state that effort was coming from. So go back to the question we opened with. Why does feeling safe manifest faster than trying hard? Because your brain, your body, and even the people around you are all responding to the state you're broadcasting, not just the actions you're taking. Change the state, and the actions finally start to work the way you always thought they should. If this rewired how you think about effort, subscribe to Neurovexis Studio, because next we're going deeper into the specific nervous system states that unlock creativity, decision-making, and yes, even luck.